Well, this is unexpected. It hasn't rained in California in almost a year. Had to take advantage of it while it's here. But it's not very conducive to video making, so let's retire to the Chaos Cave. Whoa. Welcome to the party, pal. Your friendly neighborhood Master Chaos back with you once again, and might I add, you're looking quite spry today. Speaking of today, we are talking one of my favorite subjects, and that is Vinegar Syndrome. Specifically, my top 10 favorite single movie releases of 2020. Number 10, The Severed Arm. Look at this very striking cover. It's got kind of a giallo color scheme here. All yellow with contrasting colors here. You got this black hand that kind of looks like a frog hand. A bunch of friends get stuck in a mine. They're there for like a week. They need to eat. They draw straws as to who they're going to eat. And one guy gets picked. They cut off his arm so they can start eating his arm. And then they immediately get rescued. Like 5 seconds after his arm comes off, they all get rescued. The guy whose arm got cut off disappears. And I think maybe 5 years, 10 years later, the friends that he got stuck in the mine with start being killed off, and they suspect it's their buddy who's coming to get revenge for his severed arm. Really interesting proto-slasher here. I'd never seen it before. Newly scanned and restored in 4K from 35 elements. Severing the Past, an interview with actor, well, that's an interesting name, Vince Martorano. Yeah, there you go, Vince Martorano, got that right. And then an interview with the producer, Gary Edelman, who, not to be confused with the director, whose name is Alderman. Very much a body count movie, but almost a survivor drama as well. Really interesting stuff. Number 9, the third in the what I hope is a continuing series of Mexican horror film releases from Vinegar Syndrome, Dimensiones Ocultas, also known as Don't Panic. This is probably the least interesting in the in the three films for me. This is a film that's been called the Mexican Freddy Krueger, and I guess it's like that, but it's more of a witch board, a witch trap, Ouija board type of thing. Super dorky teenager who wears dinosaur pajamas. Dinosaur pajamas! Here's a picture of him in dinosaur pajamas. This is at least a 17-year-old, maybe 18-year-old, I don't know. But he's old. He shouldn't be wearing these. Anyway, he has a birthday party, which means he's older now. And his friends come over and they bring him a Ouija board. He's like, I told you I don't play Ouija board. It feels like we're missing something in this story. Like, why, what happened? Why don't you play Ouija board? We don't know anything about this. Anyway, plays Ouija board, and they pour some like vodka on the Ouija board, and somehow that summons a demon. And it possesses one of the friends, and then the friend becomes a murdering demon, killing all the other kids, and then only Pajama Kid can stop him for some reason. Special features include both the original English and the dubbed Spanish language soundtracks. Interview with director Ruben Galindo Jr., a commentary track with Ruben Galindo Jr., that's cool, and a commentary track with The Hysteria Continues, which I still have not heard any of those. I wouldn't say it's my favorite of the Mexican releases, but it's definitely one of my favorite of 2020. Number 8, let's get three-dimensional with their first 3D release. This is Silent Madness. Now, I'd never even heard of this movie. I'd never heard of it. I'd never seen it before. And when they teased the 3D movie, everybody on the forums and on Facebook were going nuts. Oh my god, it's gotta be Silent Madness. It's gotta be Silent Madness. What the fuck is Silent Madness? I've never even heard of this movie. Is this a thing? What is this about? And everyone's like, oh, it's gonna be good. It's a really good slasher, blah, 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 blah. You know what? It's a really good slasher. This is a really fun movie. And the 3D is excellent. Of course, I don't have a 3D TV, so I had to watch it anaglyph style, which is what you're seeing right now. I'm gonna show you the slip. I want to be doing a full review of this, specifically on Master Chaos Theater, so stay tuned for that. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. Ooh, the side there. Emboss. Ooh. Silent Madness, directed by Simon Nocturne. This is probably one of the best 3D movies ever made. I'm going to say that right now. from a filmmaking standpoint, not necessarily a plot standpoint. I mean, essentially what you have here is a maniac escapes a mental hospital and goes on a killing spree. We've seen it before. It's not necessarily breaking new ground. However, the directing here is on point. If you watch this in 2D, it probably wouldn't make much of an impact. I have been hearing some reports that the 2D version is blurry. I think they shot natively on 3D, which is interesting. But the way to watch it is in 3D. Now, I watched it with Anaglyph, but, they say it's whatever, it's hit or miss. But this movie really lends itself to it. Nearly every shot has a 3D element. There's either stuff like in the foreground, or like it's walking past a thing and something just kind of walks past, and it just shows you that depth. Like if, for example, if I'm like this, like we would all have our own plane of existence, and it would just be so cool. So there's 3 viewing options. There's digital to 3D, which requires 3D TV, Anaglyph 3D, which these, and then flat 2D. So you don't have to worry about it if you don't want to watch it like that. Newly recorded commentary track with Simon Nocturne, moderated by Michael Gingold, of course, the head who was the head of Fangoria. Commentary track by Historia Continues. Man, these guys get a lot of work. Method to the Madness, a 45-minute documentary. That's cool, featuring cast and crew. Deleted interviews from said documentary. That's weird. Silent Stalking Grounds, a location featurette, and an introduction by the director. Also a promotional 3D sizzle reel, which is kind of fun. It's a solid, fun movie. It's no doubt going to sell out with this slip, which is just sex. Look at that. Oh, so beautiful. This belongs on your shelf. Before we get to number 7, make sure you're subscribed to Master Chaos comes at you with your daily dose of movie love. I'm throwing a party, and you're invited, and I had such a great time with you today that I'd hate for this to be the last time you and I meet. So please, do subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be here. I hope you will be as well. And for everybody who's old here, welcome back to the party. You're looking lovely today. Número 7, Ladrones de Tumbas. Ok, lo que tiene aquí es la película Ladrones de Tumbas. Es una historia de una momia, pero una momia, pero de diablo, te digo, que es una cosa locura. I'm sorry, I'm kidding. I'm not going to be talking in Spanish the whole way through. I just wanted to prove that I could. Ladrones de Tumbas, also known as Grave Robbers, is the first Mexican horror movie released by Vinegar Syndrome, at least in the Ruben Galindo franchise. I believe for a time this was considered the Mexican Friday the 13th. I think that's what they were calling it anyway. Look at this. You got coins. You got like a lady there. You got like devil stuff. It's great. A couple of kids are grave robbing. They unwittingly awaken this kind of demonic assassin guy who's trying to raise the devil or some shit like that. And he goes on a killing spree. And this movie has some really great kills. As a matter of fact, this whole third act is badass. This movie is non-stop fun. It has a really creepy atmosphere, really creepy set pieces, and really good monster work and effects. Highly recommend Grave Robbers here. If you don't have this, I would suggest you get it. I hosted this movie. If you haven't seen it, I'll leave the link above. I hosted the whole movie, a la Elvira, but with my own, non-boobed style. So if you haven't seen that, check it out, watch it with me. And then go and buy the Blu-ray, because you're going to want it. 4K scan, interview with Ruben Galindo, commentary with Hysteria Continues, and reversible artwork, which I assume is the original poster art, which honestly I don't like as much, so I think I'm just going to keep this one. The original poster art looks a little goofy. It kind of makes it look like you're watching some kind of like Mexican action picture, which in a way, it kind of becomes that. If you let this movie have its way with you, you won't be sore in the morning, I promise. Número 6, vamos a hablar de la película Cementerio del Terror, also known as Cemetery of Terror. This one is my favorite. It's the second release when it comes to the Ruben Galindo Mexican films. Second release. This one sold out, at least slip-wise, during Black Friday, so you cannot get this slip anymore, unfortunately, unless you want to pay exorbitant prices on eBay. Here is the back. Really beautiful. I forget the name of the artist who does the work on these, but he does just exquisite work. I'm sure they're going to keep him around. Basically, a bunch of kids break into a cemetery on Halloween, and zombies come out. That's essentially what happens. 4K scam. Commentary with Ruben Galindo Jr. The first one was commentary. Commentary track, Hysteria Continues. I wonder, man, it'd be interesting if... it'd be interesting to see if they have any kind of continuity with those commentary tracks with the Hysteria Continues. Digging Your Own Grave, an interview with Ruben Galindo Jr., and then a video conference with Rene Cardona III. I can understand why this was sold out first. I guess word got out. This is the best of the best. So 100% recommend this. This is, lowest on the list because it's my favorite when it comes to the south of the border Vinegar Syndrome titles. I'm looking forward to more in 2021. This one is a hoot. Before we get to the boob-filled number 5, please leave me a like if you're enjoying this list. That really helps the channel, helps the video out, and just gives your old master a pat on the back. And hey, I appreciate that very much. Okay, number 5. Are you ready? Are you ready? Yes. Let me see. Yep, you're ready. I can tell. Blood Games here, number 5. This is quite a surprise. This could have been a shit movie. This could have been easily a real shit movie. But you know what? I love this movie. I've seen it twice. And I rarely see a Vinegar Syndrome title twice. I think you can understand why. A group of sort of independent baseball playing girls, like it's a baseball team of all girls. And I guess they go around playing people for their birthday parties. It's very strange. So basically they get hired out by this hick town to play the local rednecks, as a birthday present to like this guy, the mayor's son or something like that. And they play, they win. The rednecks get pissed because all these girls with their boobies out basically won the game. There's actually only one scene of nudity, and you can imagine it's a shower scene, and not everybody pops the top, but hey, it's good enough. Essentially, the rednecks get mad at the baseball playing girls, and they decide to rape and kill them. The girls fight back, and what you have here is essentially a survival horror redneck deliverance style movie. I reviewed this from Master Chaos Theater if you want to go back in the archives and check that out. So I'm not going to give you a full review on it, but very harrowing, really great action scenes, really impactful kills too, like stuff that nobody feels like fodder in this movie. An interview with Laura Albert, one of the tough babes. Playing hardball, actor Ken Carpenter, who played the bad guy, the main bad guy. I think he was the mayor of the town or something like that. One of those well-respected guys in the town. His son is the one who kind of starts all the trouble. And then, a trailer and a stills gallery and reversible cover artwork. This is a real hoot of a movie. Really fun movie. Yeah, it's very cheesecakey at first. But boy, does it become really grimy and gritty. I don't want to break it. Let's get that in there nice and easy. Anybody else have trouble with these slips sometimes? You just gotta ease it in. Just a tip at first and then slide it in slow. The last 4 in my stack of 10 are all childhood favorites. So let's start with number 4. Yeah, Dolly a Dearest. Now, yes, it is a Chucky ripoff. As a matter of fact, they even use Ed Gale, the suit actor for Chucky. Whenever Chucky's running around, and it's a little person in the suit, it's Ed Gale. Here he plays Dolly. And yes, for all intents and purposes, it is I love this slip. It is a Chucky ripoff. Sure, it's a Mexican Chucky ripoff, essentially. Well, it takes place in Mexico. Here is the disc. Features are an interview with Denise Crosby, who most people would know from Pet Sematary, or I guess the first season of Star Trek Next Generation, and an interview with Ed Gale himself. So that's how I know that it's Chucky. Well, I knew that beforehand, but I'm glad that they tracked him down. They were able to interview him about his work in Dolls, essentially. Directed by actress Maria Leese and starring Rip Torn in a non-comedic role, this film is essentially about a Mayan demon ghost that gets into the body of a doll, and, all hell breaks loose. Really fun stuff, a little slow to begin with, kind of introducing things a little bit, but once the doll starts moving around and causing mayhem, it looks great. Honestly, I think for what they had at the time, the doll is pretty creepy. Actually, probably even creepier than Chucky. Number 3, Beast Master on a Blu-ray and 4K. Now, you would imagine this would be number 1 only because of the packaging, but I'm basing my list of top 10 on movies that particularly move me, movies that I've either loved for a long time or something that I know, hey, I'm going to rewatch the hell out of this. This, hands down, the best packaging of the year. Hands down, the best packaging of the year. Check this thing out. First of all, there's this big kind of bookcase thing. They even put like a little, strap there to help you open it. Best packaging of the year. Hands down. I'm not even going to argue that. No one can argue this. Look at this. Oh my God. It's almost too much packaging. Is that a butt? That's a butt. What? Doesn't look like a butt. It opens up like this with the little strap, which helps you get the movie and the booklet out. I'm going to show you the inside real quick, in case you haven't seen it before. This is just insane. There's like a little pocket with some artwork in there. I mean, this is just insane. There's artwork everywhere. Insane, insane, insane. This release comes with, your standard booklet. Well, I won't say standard, but it comes with a booklet. Put that in there. And of course, you got the movie. Look at this slip right here. Really beautiful. Really excellent. The spine. The back has different artwork. I mean, this is gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And it is a 4K disc. So, 4K and Blu-ray. So, that's really great. That's just fantastic. Special features are, you get 2 soundtracks, the original stereo and a 5.1. That's interesting. That's new. Brand new commentary track from Don Coscarelli and the writer, moderated by Joe Lynch, the filmmaker. Archival commentary track by Don Coscarelli, I guess from another release. And let's see, Beastmaster Chronicles, a brand new feature-length documentary directed by Elijah Drenner. And the Saga of Beastmaster, an archival making-of documentary. Super 8 home movies shot by James Dodson, with audio commentary by Don Coscarelli and Paul Pepperman, who was the writer. I'm not sure what that is. I guess Super 8 on Super 8 movies shot on set. I'm not sure what that is. An alternate, updated visual effects version supervised by the director. A visual effects version. Okay. Outtakes. By the way, outtakes. I think, if I'm understanding this correctly, based on forum talk, it includes. Are you ready for this? Oh my God. It includes the extra nudity filmed for Tanya Roberts. So, might be the best special feature on here. Essentially what you have here is Tanya Roberts naked and a guy who can talk to ferrets. Pretty cool. I'm kidding, of course. I don't want to downplay the movie. Beastmaster is a lot of fun. Is it my favorite Sword and Sandal movie? No, that would be the first Conan. But this is a really fun movie, one I really like, and one that I'm looking forward to introducing the kids to. I think they're going to get a kick out of this movie, especially with all the little cutesy animals running around and causing mischief. Number 2, one of my favorite slasher movies of all time, maybe even a proto-Scream here, Fade to Black. Great movie. This is one that deserved love and should have had this long ago. Way before stuff like Cutting Class or Spookies. Fade to Black should have been out long ago, but we have it now, and I'm happy. It's about this guy. His name is Eric. He loves movies. He loves movies so much. When he gets pushed around, though, he decides to retreat into his movie love and take out his tormentors using, the best weapon he has, and that's his love of movies. Amazing performance here by somebody who doesn't get really as much recognition as he deserves as an actor. Dennis Christopher. He was in the It miniseries back in the day. Here we go. Commentary track with Dennis Christopher. Commentary track with The Hysteria Continues. Historical commentary track with historian Amanda Reyes and Bill Ackerman. Historical. Interesting. I wonder what that means. Okay, Living and Dying for the Movies, an interview with Dennis Christopher, an interview with Urban Yablon's producer. Urban Yablon's, that's cool. He produced Halloween. That's interesting. Let's see, Taking the Hits, an interview with special effects artist Wayne Beauchamp. A Shiny Quality, an interview with actress Marcy Barkin. Experimenting with sound, an interview with the composer. And then an interview with the editor, and then an interview with the stylist. Okay, the stylist. Then an audio interview with the lead actress, Linda Carriage. I'm not a big fan of audio interviews. I find that really hard to do when you're putting in a Blu-ray. Fade to Black is not only a movie that deserves love, but a movie that is worthy of being appreciated and being cared for. I kind of wish this was on 4K, but whatever. Before I drop my number one on you, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being part of the party. I appreciate you being here. That really means a lot to your old master. And I hope you'll stick around for 2021. I've got big plans. I'm going to be releasing a big, massive end of the year special that will probably have my top 10 of 2020, and we'll go into my resolutions for 2021. And I hope you'll join me, because I want you to keep me accountable when it comes to those resolutions. That's why I'm making them public. So stay tuned for that on the 31st. Stay tuned for that daily dose of movie love. But for now, let's get to number one, because, oh boy, this one is one that I think is a hidden gem. But you need to have it. You need to uncover this gem. Number one, Deadly Games, also known as 3716 something? 3716 dial code Santa Claus. What people are calling the French Home Alone, what I like to call the Kid Die Hard. This movie was made after Die Hard and before Home Alone. So guess what, Home Alone? You're the American Deadly Games. Sorry, it's true. Essentially what you have here is a Die Hard situation, except instead of two burglars, you get one psycho guy dressed as Santa Claus who breaks into this kid's house to kill him and his grandfather. And so the boy, who is a fan of Rambo and basically 80s action movies in general, has to not only use his wits and his ingenuity to protect himself and his grandfather from a psycho Santa Claus. Great, harrowing, non-stop action Deadly Games. Amazing. 4K Blu-ray release right here. You need to get this. It's not just one of the best Christmas movies ever made. Hands down, it's the best release that Vinegar Syndrome has put out in terms of rescuing a movie out of obscurity, cleaning it the hell up, giving it a killer package. Yes, Beastmaster is the best release in terms of packaging, but people know Beastmaster. People know it's a well-known movie. Dial Code Santa Deadly Games is not as well-known. So this is, to me, the number one, because it's giving the world a movie that should have a cult following by now. It should be a bigger damn deal than it is. And I hope this release helps it get to where it needs to be. Interview with the director, Renee Manzora, which is 88 minutes. Whew, a little long. Interview with Alain Mouset, 40 minutes. That's the kid who plays Thomas. Now he's grown up, obviously. Extensive stills gallery with director commentary. Oh, okay. Multiple story. By the way, they're in French, so it's all subtitled. Multiple storyboards and scene comparisons. Archival behind-the-scenes featurette, 8 minutes. Synapse, a short film by Renee Manzor. Pre-trailer and model shots. Oh, the behind-the-scenes featurette might be kind of fun to show Little Master. Little Master loves this movie. He wants to be just like Thomas. So he does the face paint and everything. He loves it. He's a big fan of this movie. Let's see. The Bonnie Tyler music video for the really ridiculous song in this movie is called Merry Christmas, also known as Happy Birthday Jesus. Okay, do yourself a favor and pick this up. This slip, I'm surprised, is still hanging around. It's going to sell out for sure. Probably one of the most gorgeous artwork pieces that they've released this year. Might I also recommend you get these little cases. This isn't sponsored. I don't get money from this. But just as a collector, I just picked these up for the Black Friday sale. And you know what? I just love the way they look. I think they look extra tits in the plastic. They just look so nice, so beautiful. Ooh. Well, that'll do, Pooh. I hope you enjoyed going through my top 10 favorite Vinegar Syndrome of 2020. Let me know which ones are your favorites, which ones did you not like, which ones would you add to your list. That's part of the fun. I want to keep the conversation going. I hope you will do that down in the comments below. The video is over, but the conversation continues. My friend, I hope you're well. I hope you're safe wherever you are in the world. And remember, your Philly neighborhood Master of Chaos loves you just the way you are. And he remains to be continued.